All right, we're back.
It's a little cold in your room.
It's really not that cold.
I've felt warmer in my life.
I'm always the one that's cold. How are you colder than me?
I don't know. It's weird, but it's weird.
I guess you've become a little bitch.
Wow.
I'm just saying that's kind of what must have happened. You went to Big Bear and became a little bitch.
Wow. It's funny, when I was in Big Bear, they were all just like, oh, it's so hot. It's so, like, I guess like all my friends just like run warm, and I'm just like, I feel fine.
Wow.
Except the one, I wasn't with that many people, guys. So
it sounds like.
Well, I'm like, this is starting to sound like I have been with a million people. No, it was just a couple of us. But two friends are like, I'm sweltering, and like one other person was like, I'm freezing, and I was the only one that was like,
that was okay.
I feel fine. Like, y'all fight amongst yourselves. Well, whatever.
What happened with the temperature? To go up, to go down? Did it just stay the same? What happened?
It was a passive aggressive fight over the thermostat
for the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
The friend that was always cold would get up in the middle of the night and turn it up.
Oh my God!
Which of course infuriated the two friends who were always hot. And I slept like a baby.
I mean, I bet it didn't make a difference to you. Oh my God. Hi everybody, welcome back to the 2Gay Matt's podcast. It's Matt Palmer.
It's Matt Steele.
We're back again another week.
I know, and we are so thankful.
We've been so thankful this past week, especially the Thursday of it all.
We are the first Kelly Clarkson album.
Yes, we have those streaks in our hair at the moment.
Oh, those chunky streaks with the sweater with the long wrists.
Yes, it was 2002 was a different time.
It was so cool, and it was like, of course I'm buying this album. She is our American Idol.
It was so funny because that album was like, oh yes, American Idol album. Yes, this is cute. Yes, it has some moments, and then Breakaway comes on, and you're like, wait.
Oh, she's a real
She's a real thing.
It's like, wow.
I know, but you can't forget the thankful of it all. You can't forget the trajectory. You can't just start with Since You've Been Gone. If you didn't love me at The Trouble with Love Is. Don't love me now at my Since You've Been Gone.
That's a beautiful way of thinking.
That's how I feel. Yeah. Matt Steele, how was your week?
My week was fun.
Yes, look at you doing something.
I left LA for the first time since January, guys.
You did it.
I know. I went to Big Bear with just a couple friends. We all got like tested like a few days before, and then like stayed in our apartments for like the days when after the test and everything. And then we drove up to Big Bear, which is like 2 hours away.
Yep.
It's just up in a mountain, and it's very cold. We like watched the temperature like fall.
But it was not snowing. It did not snow.
It did not snow. Okay. There were like chunks of snow that you could tell were like weeks old that just haven't melted yet. But it was not snowing while I was there.
Okay.
And regardless, I didn't go outside.
Of course not.
I stayed inside. They all woke up early, went on their runs and everything. It was like, oh,
wow. Oh my gosh. I mean, a vacation run in the cold?
Disgusting.
That's a lot.
They would always wake up so early. I think people who just love waking up early are so fucking weird.
I mean, some people don't love it, but you also stay up until like, all hours of the night.
I didn't stay up until I went to bed at like 1 o'clock. Both nights I was gone.
And what time did you wake up?
Like 9:30.
Oh, well, how early are they waking up?
Oh, they were waking up at like 6.
No.
Yes.
On a vacation?
Yes.
They're doing it wrong. What time are they going to bed?
Oh, like the same time as me.
That's not.
But they're the type of people who like, they just, when they wake up, they're up. And it's like, I've never been like that ever.
I mean, I'm like that a little bit, but I'm not waking up before my 8 hours. Like, I'm not going to be hopping out of bed at 6 a.m. if I've gone to bed at 1 a.m. Like, no.
Yeah, they're freaks.
That's crazy.
They don't listen to this podcast, so whatever. We can talk trash about them.
Well, fuck them.
They're freaks. Fuck
They're all freaks.
I know. No, we love them.
We do.
But no, we had a nice Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I made Brussels sprouts. They were very successful. I got a wonderful little recipe from my friend Amanda.
Look at
she
you.
has a little cooking blog. And I'm like, Amanda, do you have a recipe for Brussels sprouts? And so
I guess you're a little chef.
I made the Brussels sprouts. What else did I bring? Nothing impressive.
You brought some sodas.
I brought
a Coke Zero.
I brought a Coke Zero that you brought home for me.
I did.
I ran into Matt Palmer at the grocery store as I was buying my friend's Coke Zero.
And I was like, who is this child that's standing very closely behind me as I'm trying to get my egg whites?
I know. I was like creepily trying to like bump into him and like it'd be like, oh, he'll notice me and he'll be like, oh, Matt Steele, you're here, because Matt Palmer's, he drives to the grocery store and I walk to the grocery store, and so it took you a while to notice that.
I just thought there was someone close behind me. I'm like, I wish they would move. Like, I'm trying to get out of the way.
And you didn't want to like acknowledge that you saw them.
This is how
I'm absolutely like that person. That's
how I would be in a grocery store. If someone's too close, I'll give them some space and ignore them.
Yeah.
But
and so when Matt Palmer finally did notice me, I was like, oh, while you're here and you have a car, my my friend Fernando wants me to pick up a Coke Zero for him, and you have a trunk, and I'm just walking to the grocery store,
but didn't you make the choice to walk to the grocery store? You could have driven yourself and then gotten the Coke back.
I don't like driving to the grocery store. I like walking, get my steps in.
Okay.
How was your week? What'd you do?
My week was good. It was very low key. I watched I binged a television show on Thursday, which we'll talk about a bit later.
Oh.
But I also spent the afternoon with Jackson. He had an outdoor moment with his family for Thanksgiving, and I was like, well, since the numbers are surging, I'm just gonna stay put, tell them hi for me.
Lovely.
But then Jackson came back, and we hung out for the weekend, and then I just went over and saw Janie today. So I'm paring it down to just Jackson, Janie, and you. Those are the only people I'm seeing. I mean, sometimes,
I'm honored. Thank you.
Yes, I mean, I have no choice, but you definitely would make the list otherwise. Maybe.
That's very sweet of
it's
you.
very sweet. Yeah. So I just feel like I've looked at the numbers too closely, and I'm just like, this surge is not a joke. And so I'm just like trying to be as cautious as possible. Like, if someone would love like an outdoor socially distanced masked hang, like, sure, but like I don't think anything's really worth it. Like, I'm not going home for Christmas, so I can make any other sacrifice to get us around the river bend to those vaccines. That's all I need. So I'm not trying to fuck it up between now and then.
I know. I'm praying for December 10th, so that December 11th they could start injecting those people that need to be injected. And once they're injected, I will be injected.
Exactly. And then that's the thing, is they're going to make sure that first round of people does well, because they're the frontline workers and the elderly. And so by the time it gets to us, we'll be like, have a group of people who they really want to keep alive. And then we'll know that there are no side effects, knock on wood. And then we'll get them and all will be well. All will be well.
All will be well.
I just need us to be getting close to this, and I feel like we are. But I want December 11th to roll on. I want the FDA to approve it, and then we can be well.
We can be well. And then there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes. We're getting close to it.
We can live our lives the way they were meant to be lived.
Right. Remember when we used to live?
Yeah. I wonder, I look at like pictures of myself and I'm like, I don't think I've aged too poorly since the pandemic began.
No, I think we both look the same.
Yes.
Like, I mean, we film something like once a week and we look at it. It's like, yeah, that's us. It's not like crazy. We don't look, bonks. So.
You know what that is? Sleep.
Hey, you're welcome.
It's that sleep.
Tell your Big Bear roommates that if they want to look like us every day.
I will never get up early ever again.
I mean, why would you?
No, I'm getting up early tomorrow.
Well, broke that promise pretty quickly.
Yeah, I have an appointment. I have a doctor's appointment. Why did I do that to myself?
You have to go physically, like in person or Zoom, doctor?
The physical. Well, it's because I went to an orthodontist to get a new retainer for my mouth. So like tomorrow I have to like go and like get the retainer.
Got it. Okay.
Because my retainer that I have now is I've had since 2006.
Wow.
And since I got this new insurance, I was like, well,
let's get a new retainer.
Let's get a new retainer. It's
all right.
time.
It's time.
Because I showed it to the orthodontist and he's like, you haven't lost or broken this retainer in 14 years. That literally never happens. And I'm like, well, what can I say? I'm an icon. I
mean, I'm glad your dentist knows you're an icon based on yourself.
Yes.
So wait, are we ready to jump into some news for idiots?
Let's jump in. What's happening in the news?
Well, the Grammy nominations came out this week.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
That was this week.
And no one's taking it harder than the Weeknd.
I mean, understandably. And the thing is, I'm not a The Weeknd fan. I have not pulled any punches about the fact that I think he's doing a poor Michael Jackson impression. But there's no arguing that Blinding Lights was the biggest record of that year, and that album was a huge deal. And the fact that it got completely snubbed is wild.
The fact that it was completely snubbed is
unbelievable.
Wild, because I said in the previous podcast or whatever, two previous ones, that there's always like a big album that pundits are talking about that are like, this is going to win, this is going to win, this is the front runner, and it gets snubbed in the album of the year. And that happened to Fetch the Bolt Cutters.
Yes.
Because it was very much The Weeknd versus Fiona Apple as like the top two contenders for album of the year. And that happened to Fetch the Bolt Cutters, Fetch the Bolt Cutters still got some nominations in other categories.
Yep.
The fact that The Weeknd got completely shut out is like really shocking.
It just feels like there's something going on behind the scenes. According to TMZ, apparently there was some back and forth between the people who do the Super Bowl and the people who do the Grammys. And they were like, oh, if he performs at the Super Bowl, like the Grammys needs to be an exclusive performance for the entire month, and if he performs at the Super Bowl, it won't be exclusive, blah, 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 blah. So The Weeknd and the people at TMZ believe the reason he got shut out was because of this Super Bowl halftime performance.
That's fucking
Which
nuts.
is insane.
That's nuts.
Insane.
That's like a level of politics and entertainment that like I cannot fathom.
It's just like the Grammys have been so crooked for so long, and I feel like it's finally going to come up. Like that this year with the craziness of these nominations and like the highlight being, of course, the Weeknd snubbery. I feel like there's going to be a big change of people involved in the Grammys going forward because it's just crazy.
The Grammy nominations this year were very strange, and like every year there's always like, oh, this person should have gotten nominated, this person, and you know, we're not saying that they're strange just because a few of our favorites like didn't get nominations or didn't get the nominations.
I didn't like the Weeknd.
Exactly. So you are giving your
unbiased.
Yeah. These were particularly strange Grammy nominations.
Like Beyonce is the leading artist with 9 total nominations, with Black Parade getting nominated for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best R&B Performance, and Best R&B Song, and also her collaboration, The Savage Remix with Megan Thee Stallion, got several nominations, Best Music Video for Brown Skin Girl, and Best Music Film for Black is King. And we love all of those, but it's like... Iconic. She didn't even put on an album.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just the amount of nominations. And obviously, Black is King should win Best Music Film and Brown Skin Girl should win Best Music Video. But, like, remember when all those songs came out a year prior and y'all, like, fucking ignored them? Like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, it did get a Best Pop Vocal Album.
That's true. That's true. But like, it deserved more. You know, I mean we can talk about
that was an fucking incredible album.
It really was.
Yeah, I think it's just so heartbreaking that like Rina Sawayama did not get in for Best New Artist. The fact that Gaslighter did not get a single nomination.
Not one.
Those are just
one.
I mean, they're my top 2 albums of the year, so it's devastating.
Obviously, I had my reservations about Rina just not being big enough for the Grammys, and I'm sad that came true. I thought they'd give the Chicks something, just because of their Grammy history and because of how strong this album is. Like,
it's fucking amazing.
Right, and even though it wasn't like a blockbuster hit, it's like, you heard this album,
You heard My Best Friend's Weddings. Oh my God. You heard that song. You've heard Young Man. You've heard Juliana, Calm Down.
I mean, did I tell you I named my iPad Juliana after the song?
Cute.
Thank you. Because you can like name all your devices, and so I've been naming the devices and the hard drives after like pop music I really love. So
that's really fun.
I know.
And so really whenever like your iPad is like going wonky, you could be like, Juliana,
calm down.
Calm down.
Exactly that. But yeah, so Justice for the Chicks, Taylor Swift, Dua Lipa, and Roddy Ricch also got 6 nominations. As far as the nominations, some of the big ones. Record of the Year nominees: Black Parade, Beyonce; Colors, Black Pumas. Who are the Black Pumas? I kept saying that when reading these nominations.
I don't know, but congratulations.
Congratulations to them. Apparently, the Grammys will listen to albums that aren't huge blockbusters, just not by the Chicks. Ugh. Rockstar, DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch; Say So, Doja Cat; Everything I Wanted, Billie Eilish; Don't Start Now, Dua Lipa; Circles, Post Malone; Savage, Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce. Who do you think should win Record of the Year?
I have no fucking clue. Like I truly do not know what will win Record of the Year out of this whole bunch, because if you were to ask me what would be nominated for Record of the Year like 3 weeks ago, I would have given you a completely different list.
Right. That's the thing. It's very surprising. The thing is, Say So was a huge hit, and like Doja Cat was a big thing, but like, I never want to give Dr. Luke a Grammy. If Say So wins, Dr. Luke will get a Grammy, and fuck that. No, I will not. So Circles was a giant hit. I would be for that. Don't Start. And honestly, if Dua Lipa swept, I'd be thrilled.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I'd be happy about it. So
the thing is also, because of everything happening this year, I could see something like Black Parade.
Yes.
Like winning like Record or Song of the Year.
Yes.
Like one of those, just because, you know, it's such a moment.
Absolutely. What a great song too.
Yeah. Oh, and the song is excellent.
The song is excellent.
And definitely would not be would be a good winner.
No way.
So I could see Black Parade doing it, especially because the last time Beyonce was nominated for a lot of stuff, the bad stuff happened. So I feel like the Grammys could be like, oh, let's fix that a little bit.
But Formation won a major, did it? Didn't Formation? No, in my head I won.
Hello won both record and song.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I've already blocked it out. In my head I was like, oh no, Formation must have won.
No, Beyonce. No.
Okay, well, anyways.
No, Beyonce just won like Best Urban Contemporary Album.
I can't believe Coldplay's nominated for Album of the Year. Who knew Coldplay put out an album?
I didn't.
Janae Aiko's nominated, the Black Pumas; Jacob Collier, Haim, for an album that, like, I heard wasn't their best. Like, people who love Haim were like, this of the 3 of their albums, it's not my favorite. Dua Lipa, Future Nostalgia; Hollywood's Bleeding, Post Malone; and Folklore, Taylor Swift. Which of those albums would you like to win Album of the Year?
I mean, It's a lot of albums I've never heard of. So I mean, Dua Lipa, just because out of the two of those albums that I have heard,
that's the one you prefer.
That's the one I prefer.
I'm same. Song of the year. Well, let's just go to best new artist. Who are these people? Phoebe Bridgers. Not that new. But, Ingrid Andress, don't know her. Phoebe Bridgers. Chica is a great rapper. I know her. Noah Cyrus, my little sister, nominated.
Cool.
D-Smoke, Doja Cat, K Tranda, who I also think is not that new, but is a gay black dance producer. So we love that for him.
Hot.
And Megan Thee Stallion. Best new artist. Who do you think it's going to go to?
I imagine it will go to Megan Thee Stallion.
I think so too.
Yes.
She's so big.
Yes, she's so big. See, the thing is, I was like, oh, Rina's definitely going to be in here. So like maybe like Doja and Megan will like split the vote or something.
And it could go to Rina.
But then of course there's also Phoebe.
There's also Phoebe, who's also not new. But I would love that for her. Chica, I would be happy with as well. But I just listened to Megan Thee Stallion's album. I need to listen to it more closely, but she has a song that samples Jasmine Sullivan called Circles. And I'm like, if this isn't your next fucking, it's such a hit.
How many fucking songs are called Circles?
I mean, every song's called Circles. Mariah, Post Malone, Megan Thee Stallion. But, all three of those songs I like. So it all works out for me.
If you have a song called Sober, it's going to be great.
Exactly. Thank you, Selena Gomez and Kelly Clarkson.
Lorde.
And Lorde, excuse me.
Oh my God, how dare you?
I'm sorry. Those are just the first two that came to mind. And then Justin Bieber also had like an Instagram press release in which he was like, I don't know why I was nominated in the pop categories and not the R&B categories. I put out an R&B album. It's like, Justin, Yummy's awful. So you should be very happy it got nominated for anything.
Yeah, you should sit there and just eat your food.
Exactly.
Because you are so lucky that song got.
And it's like, you can't throw Selena Gomez a nomination. Rare's a great album.
Yes.
Lose You to Love Me was a big hit. Good song. Come on.
We all know what song should be in there, and it's Excess.
I mean,
we all know Excess was the one robbed in that category.
Of course.
But yeah, Rare's a very good album too.
Yes.
Man, of all the great music that came out this year, and it's like, although to be fair, I have not heard most of these nominations, so they could be utterly brilliant. So
it was just hurtful to me.
Yes.
I was happy to see Harry Styles' Fine Line got a Best Pop Vocal Album nomination. I think that's very cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see what happens, but these were interesting nominations, let's say.
Song of the Year, I was happy that Julia Michaels' song got in. I listened to that and I'm like, oh, this is a lovely song.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I think this is
and it was a hit. Her and JP Sachs. It's If the World Was Ending. I think that song is lovely. It was also in a gay movie that I liked last year called The Thing About Harry.
Oh, I like that.
Rewatched it recently. I was like, oh, that's that Julia Michaels JP Sachs song that became a big hit. So
cool.
Good for them.
But yeah, so I guess we're just putting on our Dua shirts.
I mean, we're going to put on our Dua shirts.
And pretending like Good in Bed is not on the album.
I had already forgotten it existed. So there's not a lot of news this week, I warn you. But I mean, this is honestly was going to be one of my giving you moments. But again, we have so few news stories. The Saved by the Bell reboot came out and it's fucking hilarious. I think it's excellent. I really loved all 10, I believe, episodes of it, which I binged on Thanksgiving, the morning of. And I think it's such a good mix of like, okay, obviously we're learning about new people and a new younger cast. And there's basically what happens is Zach Morris is the governor of California. And for whatever reason, all of these underfunded schools get closed. And then some kids from an underfunded school called Douglas High get sent to Bayside and like basically have to go there to school. And so it's seeing all these insane, and Bayside's kind of exactly like it was in the original version of Saved by the Bell, and like completely ridiculous and overfunded and just a crazy place for crazy white people to be. And so
they have, like, their own diner, like
exactly,
they all go to.
Exactly. So the Max is still there. And so, but there are new two ladies of color who are the leads in the show, and they're kind of like the eyes and ears of the audience as they traverse this incredible, insane new world. And it's about them meeting all these ridiculous people. And also, I didn't realize that Josie Tota, who is a trans actress who used to be on a show called Champions that Mindy Kaling wrote, and was also in the film Other People, I believe, that was written by Chris Kelly, who's an SNL alum that I also really like, and it's about Molly Shannon getting cancer. It's very sad. But basically, she's an incredible actress, and this is the first role that I've seen her in, like, post-transition, and she is both so gorgeous and so insanely funny. It's like, oh my God, a superstar. I need her in everything.
Okay.
So, justice for for Josie. And but apparently people were unhappy about there's an episode in which there's arguments about Selena Gomez and her kidney transplant that I personally did not find offensive, but if people found it offensive, I respect their points of view. Basically, there are jokes about like, oh, who gave Selena Gomez the kidney? The plot of the episode is all of the kids' cell phones are taken away, so they actually have to like interact with each other, and the school goes to shit because of it. Basically, everyone's arguing, and things are on fire just because, and they're all making out in the halls because they're not able to like distract themselves with their phone and on Instagram. And
so like the thing that actually should happen in schools happens.
It does.
Like, cell phones are taken away.
They are, but then everything goes to shit because the kids are so obsessed, and so they're just arguments about Selena Gomez and this kidney transplant, which I don't think is making light of the fact that there was a kidney transplant. It's like, oh, these kids are ridiculous. Seems like the joke to me.
Yeah.
But apparently people were very upset, and I guess people feel like it was a tacky reference, and maybe it was, but I don't know. I wasn't offended by it in watching it.
Okay.
Personally, for me.
she got the transplant. Everything all turned out.
Yeah, it all turned out okay, but it was just basically like, oh no, it was from Demi Lovato. No, it was from Justin Bieber's mom. Like, it was just like two kids having a dumb argument that was not based in fact. And I don't know. I felt like the point of the joke was like, oh, these kids are idiots, not like, oh, Selena Gomez is a dummy for getting a kidney transplant. Like, I don't feel like that was the joke.
What a dummy. She got a kidney transplant.
I know, what a bitch.
How dare she?
I didn't get that. But Peacock came out with a statement and apologized.
Did they really?
They did. They apologized for the joke, and I've been in touch with Selena's team and is donating something to her foundation. So I guess everything's smoothed over. But I understand if people are offended, and I respect every point of view on that. But watch the show; it's great.
I imagine Selena Gomez woke up and was just like, what?
Right. Like, why are people mad about me?
I have not watched the Saved by the Bell reboot. I hear it's very funny, but yes. I also hear that the Nolan twins from Big Brother 17 are on it.
Are they?
Yeah, I hear they make like a little thing.
Oh, I don't know who that is, and I don't remember seeing any twins.
You watched Big Brother 17 with me.
Are they they
were
blonde
the
girls?
Yeah, they were blonde. Liz and Julia. Don't remember?
Nothing. I'm thinking of two blonde Bachelor contestants who were twins, so I don't remember the Big Brother ones. But we love that for them. Congratulations. We love a cameo. And speaking of our queen, Rina Sawayama, who was unfairly overlooked.
Yes.
She put out a new single this week.
Yes.
Produced by Blood Pop, who we love, called Lucid. And it's great.
It's so fun.
It's so
fun. And she's singing about girls.
Yes.
It's like hot. Yes.
Honestly, there's not much to say besides it's great. And it's like, if you liked Chromatica, you'll love Lucid. Blood Pop did a lot of Chromatica, and it kind of feels like in that vibe and that sound. And the song is great. And I'm glad that she's continually putting out music that is exciting and joyful and wonderful.
So has she said anything about this being like the first single off of a new album?
No, she's just like putting out a deluxe edition of Sawayama with a few new tracks. And so this is one of those new tracks.
Cool. Love it. Keep going.
Love that. I found this weird, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because Phoebe Bridgers had a funny tweet about it. Okay. Apparently, Eric Clapton and Van Morrison collabed for an anti-lockdown song.
I heard about
Yes, it was called Stand and Deliver. Apparently.
And the first person I thought of was Phoebe Bridgers.
And it was great. And she tweeted something to the effect of like retweeting this story. I was like, I told you.
We even like defend Eric Clapton in our Phoebe Bridgers.
Exactly.
Like,
We're like, oh, that song is nice.
For those you don't know, there's a lyric in one of her songs on her album, Prisoner, that's like we both singing about her boyfriend at the time and how they both connected because they both hate the song Tears into Heaven. And in our 2-day match review of the album, we're just like, who hates that song? That's a great song.
I know.
It's like, well, she told us.
She did.
She knew.
Yep. Her tweet is "Told you so."
That's a fucking incredible response.
Tweet. But also I'm like reading more about Eric Clapton, and apparently he was like fully racist as well. And so it's like, oh well, great. Fuck Eric Clapton. Now we know.
Eric, what the hell?
The more you know. And again, I'm sorry it's a short moment this week, but lastly, the Prom full trailer came up. Did you watch it?
I did.
How did you feel about it?
Preferred the teaser. But still a cute trailer. The embargo for reviews on the Prom has been lifted.
Really?
Literally like 2 hours ago.
Really? What are people saying?
They're saying, most of what I've read on Twitter are, it has a lot of energy. And it's fun. Some people on Twitter are saying that it seems like it's like trying a little too hard, but like as someone who tries too hard myself, I don't shame it or fault anyone for that.
I don't fault it. I think the way I'm gonna make it through the prom is just thinking, okay, it's Glee. It's like I need to get in a Glee mindset of like its heart's in the right place. It's going to be cheesy. It's going to be a little after school special, but it's trying to do the right thing and push the culture in the right direction. And so we love that. I will stomach the songs, maybe some will affect me. Maybe Meryl's rapping in other songs is even better. So we'll see.
I think she only raps in the one that we shall not mention.
Thank God. And this is the new one that they wrote for the. Okay. Well, I know I'm going to watch it. And do I have to watch The Grinch with Matthew Morrison?
No, you don't got to watch that.
Okay. We don't need to do that.
I'm not in the mood for that. Cool. I'm sure it'll be cute.
But that's the thing is Mariah's Christmas special comes out this Friday. Then at some point we're going to watch the prom. So we don't need to.
It's a lot of music.
Of stuff.
Yeah. And I have no issue against Matthew Morrison or The Grinch or any of the above. It's just I'm probably not going to watch it.
Well, hey, that was music to my ears. That is literally the Christmas gift that you gave me this year is not watching that. So thank you. That's because that's all I wanted to hear is that we didn't have to watch that.
Oh, yeah. What was like the one live musical that I was like, we don't have to watch this. And you were like, oh, thank you.
Oh, honestly, I don't even remember, but whenever you say it, it's like a weight lifts off my shoulders. I did like the Wiz one, though. That was
You're
cute.
welcome, Mary. And you liked Grease Live, which I was in.
Grease Live, yes. Grease itself was not for me. But
you loved my performance as student number 16.
The best student 16 I've ever seen.
Fuck. The nuance.
Yes, the layers.
The fucking layers,
they were
guys.
shining through the television.
Oh my God.
An actor.
Me with my slicked hair.
Yes.
That was just shellacked to
Yes,
my head.
it really
There was
was.
so much hairspray.
Oof.
God.
When you wash that out in the shower, do you like see the gunk coming out of your hair?
No,
really.
it washes away with the shampoo.
Okay, I love that.
Not that I've put gel in my hair recently.
Right.
But,
when it has been gelled.
When it has for purposes.
Love that. Okay, well, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more 2 Gay Matt's podcast.
We're back, guys.
It's true.
I was telling Matt Palmer, I was like, well, the only email we really got this week was one telling us to not watch Hillbilly Elegy. And I was like, oh, too late. I already watched it.
Are you going to introduce the segment of the podcast?
Oh, yeah. Well, they know this is Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer some questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com.
Yes.
So this one is from Jake, and it's aptly entitled Hillbilly Elegy.
Yes.
Hey, Matt. Just want to say I've been watching/listening to you all since your Sound of Music live video and have loved everything since. Also,
thank you.
Also, Matt Steele, I'm pretty sure we have a mutual friend. Do you know a Matt? I'm not going to include the last name.
Oh, that's
for privacy reasons.
Yes. Say Palmer.
No, it's not Matt Palmer.
Oh.
It's not Matt Steele. It's another Matt.
Weird.
In just my life.
Never heard of him.
Another Matt. He went to NYU for musical theater around the same time as you, I believe. And yes, Jake, I know Matt very, very well. He was in my class at NYU.
Love it.
So if you see him, Jake, tell him that I love him and I miss him and I hope he's doing well. And to text me and say hey. And if he's in LA, we'll hang out after we all get vaccinated.
Yes.
But Jake also says, I just wanted to talk about Hillbilly Elegy because I know you were talking about being excited about it, but as someone from Appalachia, it is really damaging to the view that people have of us, especially because of the author's comments about that this is everyone's life in my area and that this is the best representation of us, which is so untrue.
Did they say that? The director said that?
I believe he's saying the writer.
Oh, the writer said that.
The guy who wrote the book, J.D. Vance. And Jake says, that being said, I'm still going to watch this movie because of the actresses and their icons. But I wanted to give some good recommendations for good Appalachian representation. Dolly Parton's album, My Tennessee Mountain Home, and her whole discography. Also, Dolly's movie about her younger years, Coat of Many Colors, which is interesting because another good friend of mine who me and Matt Dengler went to college with is in that movie as well.
Did you say his last name just now?
Oops.
Oh, God, I'll edit it out.
So it's a fun NYU connection that Jake has to all of us. And also the musical Bright Star. And Jake is 3 hours away from where Bright Star takes place. Bright Star is one of those musicals that everyone loves, and I still have yet to listen to the cast recording. And I hear it's so wonderful, and we loved that Tony performance. We were all about that Tony performance.
I remember that.
And so I really have to like hunker down and finally listen to it because everyone seems to love it, and so can't wait to listen to it. So yeah, Jake just wanted to give recommendations and hopes we give them a chance. Jake says, anyways, also stream Plastic Hearts and have a wonderful and safe holiday season.
We're gonna have a separate thing about Plastic Hearts, but I mean, if I can give a high level, I fucking love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that album.
Yeah.
The title track.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many songs I love, but...
Yeah, there's one that I'm like, I love
Oh, God, me too. Wait, hold on.
Don't spoil it.
All right, I won't spoil it.
No, we're going to do like something new and we're going to try to do something new and special.
We're going to do it. I believe we can.
It could flop.
No, I've never flopped. It's weird.
Okay. Well, well, anyway, Jake, I did watch Hillbilly Elegy. Like, you told me not to, but I have to say.
Oh God, here we go. Are you gonna get Jake mad at us?
No, I'm not gonna get Jake mad at us. It is not as horrible as the critics are making it seem.
Is it not?
It's genuinely not.
Is it good?
It is not as horrible as the critics are. Like they made it seem like it's the worst movie ever made, and it's not. The first hour, the first 70 minutes. Could use some more tuning. I thought the second half was pretty solid.
Wait, how long is this movie?
Oh, it's like an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh, but you said the first 70 minutes. So that's a lot.
The second half I think is quite good. I liked the second half. The second half is very Glenn heavy, and Glenn Close, I have to say, is excellent. Her character reminded me a lot of my Aunt Michael, who's like really tough and really cool. I mean, she's not from Appalachia or anything.
I say Appalachia.
Appalachia? Yeah. I say Appalachia.
Okay.
Cool.
Different strokes.
Well, Jake, let us know who's correct.
Who's right.
I mean, I didn't know that the writer said, "Oh, this is what everyone's life is like in Appalachia." I would hope
crazy to say.
Yeah, I would hope that most people would watch the movie and know that this isn't what everyone's
right.
like.
I just think it's completely unfair to like have something be the representation of an entire section of the country, a part of the world, an entire people. It's still my feelings about Monique and Real Housewives of Potomac, but we won't get back on that. But just like this could just be a singular story and like what happens, and it just happens to take place here, not like this is what Appalachia is about. You know? I just don't need that.
Yeah, no, I think the critics were a little dramatic in their critiques.
Okay. Do you think either of them will get nominated for Oscars?
Here's where Glenn's trouble lies in the movie. The first half is very Amy heavy.
Okay.
The first half is also very and Amy like does what she needs to do. Like she, it's just I don't think it is as well done as it could be. Like the problem,
her performance or the movie in that point?
The movie in that point, because the problem with her character is like her character is kind of just like shown in a series of random outbursts, and they go from like 0 to 100 in like 5 seconds. And so the first half you're just like, whoa, what's happening?
Right.
And then the second half is all about like Glenn's character. And I think her scenes are very, very well done, like well written and well directed and everything. And so like way more successful. There's a funny scene where she like goes to the hospital because she has, she has like pneummonia, and her grandson's like, "Mama, are you dying?" And she's like, "How the fuck am I supposed to know if I'm dying?"
Oh, God.
It's really funny. But so I think it's a strong enough performance to get nominated. However, it's in the second half of a movie, and I imagine a lot of Oscar voters will
like turn it off
before they get to it. So that's a little rough. But yeah, I think people are being a little dramatic in the movie. There are way worse.
I mean, those are my feelings about Glitter. Like people just really shout on it, and it's not the best movie of all time, but it didn't deserve the vitriol it received. So maybe it's just the Glitter of our time.
I will agree with you there.
Thank you.
Hillbilly Elegy is slightly better than Glitter.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
no one's offended by Glitter, and Jake is offended by this film. So.
People were offended by Glitter.
What was offensive about Glitter?
People were like, "How dare you do this to Mariah?"
Do what to Mariah? Nothing was done to her. I love Glitter. Okay. So that's that on that. But I'm glad we get your review.
Here's the thing: is I shouldn't say Hillbilly Elegy is better than Glitter because Glitter definitely has more rewatch value.
Yes,
okay. Just because it's Glitter
yeah, it's
and
fun.
Justice for it. Yes. It's fun and everything. But like Hillbilly Elegy, like as you say, like its heart is in the right place. Mm-hmm. It's a nice movie with a nice heartwarming thing about family and everything. I think the actors do it like a good job and everything. Mm-hmm. I think there's definitely an audience for this movie, and I enjoyed watching it.
Right.
Like, even the flaws it may have.
Flaws and all.
Yeah.
Beyonce told us.
Yeah. So.
All right. So Matt Steele, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
What has been giving you moments, darling?
Well, I watched several movies in our time in Big Bear because, as you know, we did not go outside. Well, I did. I didn't go outside.
Yes.
And one movie that came out recently, it may have a baffling title that makes no sense.
I'm nervous.
And it may have a main love interest that you aren't rooting for. But fuck, Happiest Season's adorable and funny.
Happiest Season is fine. I just watched it.
Okay, well, this is giving me my moment.
Oh my God, okay.
So I'm so sorry that Matt Palmer's wrong about this.
I've never been wrong.
Happiest Season was hilarious. I have no idea why it's called Happiest Season. Like, who came up with that? Might as well just call it Merry Christmas. I think the comedy was so spot on by everyone, especially fucking Mary Holland, who co-wrote the movie. And I'm just like, of course you did, because you are catering to your strengths as an actress so hard, and it totally works.
Wait, which one's Mary Holland?
The sister, Jane.
Oh, I didn't know that she co-wrote it. Okay,
she co-wrote it, yes.
Oh.
Mary Steenburgen.
Excellent.
Like, so excellent. I feel like so often she is just, she'll play the mom. And here she is just given so much to do. Like, her timing is so perfect, and I love Mary Steenburgen.
Who doesn't?
A songwriter extraordinaire.
Yes.
And so I was so happy about that. I think the comedy in it was just so well done that I feel like I don't see in movies as much, like done as well in comedy movies as much nowadays. Because
what did you think of the lead couple? Kristen Stewart and what's her face?
Oh, no one was rooting for her. No one was rooting for Harper. The entire movie, all of us gays were sitting on that couch and we were like, fuck you, Harper.
Dump her. Dump her.
But then, they get, like, of course, everyone's rooting for Aubrey Plaza. She looked at me, just throw her in a blazer, and you're like, oh my God, I am a lesbian. like I have never felt more like a lesbian than watching how hot Aubrey Plaza was in that movie. So, of course, everyone's rooting for her to get together with Aubrey Plaza. Even though we are all rooting against Harper, I do love the segment where Daniel Levy has the conversation, and it's just like, look, she treated you like shit here and everything. She's doing horrible things. She's making you totally be fake around her family and everything. But just because she is having her own inner turmoil, that doesn't mean that she does not love you.
Yes.
It's so everyone has their own coming out story. Mine was a very wonderful story, not very dramatic in the slightest, but other people don't have, aren't lucky enough to have that. So I did like that whole segment with Daniel Levy, and it kind of made me be like, okay, you can get back together with Harper, I guess.
I wasn't there.
I anticipated you absolutely just.
I just was like, when would I have left this trip?
Oh my God.
As soon as I got there, I don't know.
You would have gotten out of the car. The fact that she told her on the car ride there, this is what's happening. You're going to have to pretend to be in the closet.
No.
You would have been like, okay, we'll pull over.
Yeah, call an Uber
I'm gonna
for
get
me.
An Uber, and it's going to be fun. I just appreciated the movie because I thought the comedy was very well done.
Yes, I feel like Kristen Stewart has a ways to go as a comedic actress. I felt like she's so very flat. I feel like, and I realize her character is supposed to be the more level-headed one, and you're rooting for her circumstantially, but she's giving you nothing. She's truly doing. It would just be so easy to just be a little charming in that role to me, and I felt her to be completely charmless. I felt the lead duo to be one completely unlikable and one completely charmless. And I'm like, I don't want to watch either of you. Give me Dan Levy and Aubrey Plaza, and I'd watch
and
that.
Mary Holland.
And Mary Holland. Mary Steenburgen for sure.
Oh, Mary Steenburgen.
I mean, unbelievable.
What an icon.
Iconic.
Best Supporting Actress 1980. Anyway, but I found Kristen Stewart's casting in that role to be interesting because she's so Kristen Stewart.
Yes.
Like she's so I found it so interesting that like the main protagonist was kind of like the like grungy one who was just like, oh, you know, I feel like you rarely see that. So I found it kind of a refreshing casting choice. I don't know. I kind of liked her.
I mean, I like that it was a queer person playing a queer person, and so she was very much believably queer, and I thought that was great. Yes.
See, I thought it was interesting because it was like the character who was like totally confident and the main protagonist was the low key one, and the character who you're kind of like rooting against and does the wrong thing was kind of the perky, charming one, you know? Yes. So I found that dynamic kind of interesting in terms of casting.
They just didn't let us fall in love with Harper enough at the beginning because like when she starts being a horrible bitch, you're just like, oh, dump her.
But like it was so much fun to root against her. Like that's why I loved watching the movie because we were just like, boo, fuck her. And like the actress does a really nice job with it and everything, but still it's just
Mackenzie Davis, I believe her name is.
I forget.
I think it's Mackenzie Davis.
But you just love rooting against Harper, and I feel like that's what makes the watch value of the movie more fun.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It certainly wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, I feel like I haven't found the sweet spot of like a Christmas gay film yet, but I have my ears peeled, and maybe 12 Dates of Christmas will scratch that itch for me because I think it's starting to come out, the reality show that I was talking about like 2 weeks ago. It's starting to come out on HBO Max now. I think they're releasing 3 episodes are already out. 3 episodes are coming on Friday or Saturday, and then the final 2 episodes are coming December 10th. I'll be watching them all on December 10th because you know I need a binge moment. I want a gay holiday moment that I can root for the people and I don't have to root against half of the couple. You know?
I don't mind not rooting for the protagonist. I think it's always kind of fun.
I guess.
So Matt Palmer, what was your giving me moments?
Thank you so much for asking. That was so kind. My giving you moments was another movie that I watched over the weekend. I actually watched it last night. I think you saw a bit of it. It is a film on Amazon Prime entitled Uncle Frank.
Oh, it seems sad.
Ooh.
I heard it through the walls and I was like in the room with you when you were watching the end, and I was just like, oh, I'm there. Okay. I need to go back into my room.
It is an Alan Ball film. It was written and directed by Alan Ball, who I believe also did 6 Feet Under. And it stars Paul Bettany as Uncle Frank, and Judy Greer's in it and does an amazing job. And Margot Martindale is also in it, does an amazing job.
I love Margot Martindale.
Oh, she's amazing. And so this is about it's a Southern family. It's like a big family movie. But Uncle Frank is, gay and moved to New York and is a New York NYU professor. And his niece, Betty, who turns into Beth because she grows up, and kind of is always like infatuated with him in a way of like, oh, I want to be like him when I get older. He's so nice and conscientious and like a smart person. I want to be like him, and just never understood why her grandfather was always so cruel and mean to Uncle Frank. And so eventually she goes to NYU and basically he's a professor and like finds out that he is gay. Beth finds out that he is gay, and then eventually, I don't think it's a spoiler because it's like the beginning of the movie, but the grandfather that I mentioned at the beginning dies. And so Uncle Frank and Beth and Uncle Frank's partner Wally do basically like a road trip down back to West Virginia to deal with the loss of his father and meeting all these people that didn't know he was gay. He does not plan to come out. He does not, he's going home and basically saying, Wally, you have to stay at the motel. You can't meet any of my family, but me and Beth have to be here for this funeral. And, chaos ensues. And there are flashbacks. It's like the tough moments of this movie are very tough. But the performances are excellent. I'm not a period piece person, but it was like it was based in the 70s, I guess. But the relationship between Uncle Frank and Wally seemed very real. And as much as Frank would do shit that I would be like, Also, I'd be like, oh, I would leave now.
Uncle Frank was the harbor of that relationship.
He was, but like you got more backstory as to like why he was so broken. Like we didn't know what Mackenzie Davis's problem was. It was like, oh, I'm just too rich and my dad wants to be the mayor. It's like not enough.
Sometimes you're too rich and your dad wants to be the mayor.
Not enough.
That's what happens, to us white people.
I guess so, girl. I have known nothing about that. But Paul Bettany's performance is truly fantastic, and the storytelling, even though it does swing into the melodramatic, like I told Jackson after we finished, it felt like August Osage County. Like it felt like it was a play first, even though it wasn't, just because like the swings are so big. It's like we're clearly playing to the back of the house in some of the like moments, maybe not performance wise, but just like the drama of the storytelling gets so dark and then becomes so, I don't know. It just like there's such high points and such low points emotionally that it feels like you're getting off a roller coaster once it's done. You're just like, oh my God, my heart is broken, but also happy, but also broken. But it was cathartic and well done. And I cared so much for all the characters, and everyone had, a point of view that felt specific and felt real. And I loved Beth's relationship with Frank and getting to know him better. And I loved Wally's relationship with Frank, even though I was like, Wally, get out of here. But he clearly cared so much about him, and like is someone who, I don't know, it was a lovely film. And then like the family dynamic of like, it's the 70s, it's the South, if this were to come out, some people would be supportive, some people would not. It just felt very true and real, and wasn't like trying to sugarcoat things, but still had, it had joyful moments, even though it was like a dark movie, if that makes sense. So I would definitely recommend it. If you do watch it, just get prepared to have an emotional, what did Mariah say hate you stood for? Having a typical emotional upset. So expect that. Expect to hate you. Iconic. What a dumb acronym. Like, I love Mariah, but like, no.
I love it.
It's just ridiculous. But Uncle Frank, 5 stars.
Okay, when did it even come out? Because
I think it came out on last weekend or something. Like very recently.
Okay,
it hit Amazon Prime.
Okay, we're getting all these new movies now.
Yeah, no, I think it premiered at Sundance in January, and then it was released on November 25th, 2020 by Amazon Studios.
Well, what's gonna? I mean, this is Oscar season. All the Oscar movies are coming out. What's gonna win? Is it gonna be Uncle Frank? Is it gonna be Happy Season? Yeah. Is it gonna be Hillbilly Elegy?
Is it gonna be Sonic the Hedgehog?
Or is it gonna be Sonic the Hedgehog?
Those are the only options.
Those are the only options. So. Vote below.
Yeah.
I love saying vote below on the podcast.
On the podcast where there's nowhere to vote or nowhere to write anything. It's wonderful.
It's kind of like when someone tweets like, comment your opinions on this, and they like don't allow anyone to reply.
Yes, that is cute. So is there anything else you'd like to tell the people before we sign off for today?
I do not think so.
I don't think so either, but this was a joy. This was fun.
I know. This was nice. Someone is sawing up below us in the apartment.
I think it's sex. I think there are people having sex.
I don't know. It's not happening. I don't know if you guys can hear.
I don't know if they can hear on the podcast. I hope not. But like, there's just like, it starts and stops. Sometimes it's really fast and then stops. And sometimes it's, I don't know. I've been hearing it semi-regularly, and it doesn't like keep me up. I'm a good sleeper.
Semi-regularly for how long? Because this is the first time I've ever hearing it.
I would say for the past month or so.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if new people have moved in. A couple has moved in, but I can't think of anything else it could be besides sex, because I was like, maybe they're doing like an exercise, but it would always happen generally at nighttime.
To me, it sounds like a saw.
It's not a saw.
It's not a saw. Okay.
No.
Above in my room, I always hear like a cell phone like on a floor. Going
I heard
bzz, bzz.
I heard that before, and that is much more maddening to me.
Oh, you came like into the living room one day and you're like, do you hear a buzzing? Do you hear a buzzing? And I was like, I don't hear anything, but I imagine it's a cell phone on the apartment above us.
Because I don't think it's my cell phone. And it's like, oh, okay, this is just people having their sailor fun or whatever. And it's like, we get that. A cell phone on the ground that I'm hearing through the ceiling, it's like, I will murder you. Like, you pick that cell phone up,
all right,
or I'll think it's mine.
This is really aggressive.
It's how I feel.
Well, just know that it's not yours. Put your cell phone really close. That way, like, oh no, that didn't come from really close. That came from up above.
I don't accept this. That was a much tougher time than the sex capades issue.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I go through a lot.
Look, some people have a harder life. Some people live in Appalachia.
Okay. Well, we're heading out. Sorry, I'd like to apologize to Jake for Matt Steele's comments.
Well, I mean, the author said that everyone from Appalachia goes through the struggles that Amy Adams did in Hillbilly Elegy.
I mean, and we gotta trust that. So thank you guys so much for listening. We love you very much. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and we're so thankful for all of you listening. We'll be back next week with another 2 Gay Mats podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye.